Hello and welcome. I'm Connor. This is Data Analytics Stuff, where we talk about some data analytics. We also talk about some stuff. Today we're going to get into some retail sales and inventory data for our Mexico Toys data set. And we're going to try to get into the mind of the business user in this video and start to think about how we can start to compare sales and inventory data. Are there some stores that are contributing to the sales of a product throughout the company more than other stores? Are there some stores that maybe have more of that product on hand than the stores that are selling it really well? We're going to start to explore a few ways that we can compare sales and inventory data together to gain some more actionable insights at a glance. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so here we are back in Power BI Desktop. You can see we've got a table on the canvas right now with a few different fields. We've got our store names, so all the stores in our company here. We've got all of our product names, so we're seeing product by company. And then we're also seeing some sales information and some stock on hand. So this is our sales for the last 3 months, as well as our stock on hand. Let's just confirm that this is in fact the last 3, and that is true. We got July, August, and September, the most recent data for this data set. And like I said, our current stock on hand. So at first glance, not a lot to really compare to. You know, we can see Campeche has sales of 1503 in the last 3 months with a current stock on hand of 5. Offhand, doesn't seem quite ideal, right? 1503 out of 5 on hand. You know, seems like they could use a little bit more inventory, but how do we determine that, right? And how do our users determine that at a glance? So that's what we're going to explore today. So let's get into let's make some more measures around sales and stock, and we want to be able to get some insights around what are all of the sales for each product and all of the stock on hand for each product across the company, right? And how can we start to compare those for the individual values per store? So let's take a look at sales. We'll do a sales on store, sales all store. Format that. Let's actually just get rid of the decimal. And then let's look at stock on hand, all stores. So now we've got all the sales for every store by item, all the stock for every store by item, and you can start to see it here looking at, so for all the action figures by store, you can see the sales change, but then sales all stores doesn't. That's that consistent company number. Same with stock on hand. We've got different stock on hand values for each of these different stores for action figure. Stock on hand by all stores, that's just all the stock on hand throughout the whole company. Then we get to animal figures, same thing. So let's start to look at how these two compare, right? We're starting to get closer to some insights, but don't really have a good sense of things quite yet with this. So let's look at how sales compares to all the store sales and how stock on hand for each company compares to all the stock on hand for the entire company. So sales, call it percent. So now we've got some good comparison values, so let's drop those on, and we'll have to format these as a percentage as well. So let's get those going. Percentages. And so now we can start to see a little bit more into, who has the highest contribution of sales And this is where we'd want to see maybe more by product here. So let's go to this product name filter and let's actually look at what's the highest selling item. So it looks like Lego bricks over the last 3 months is the highest selling item across all stores. So let's filter for that. Let's see how we can make an impact with these Lego bricks. Actually, we're gonna wanna uncheck, select all, and let's just look at Lego bricks. So now, if we sort this by sales by all stores, sales percentage, now you can see over here who our top contributors to overall Lego brick sales are. So you can see we got Ciudad de Mexico here. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Their stock on hand is 2, which seems low, right? And if we sort their stock on hand, it looks like they actually do have the lowest stock. So now we're starting to get a sense for, all right, we've got a store here, biggest contributor to Lego brick sales in the company at 18, almost 19,000. And they also just happen to have the lowest stock on hand. So maybe there's a store that can start to transfer some stock over, or maybe that's just an indicator to say, hey, we got to get this location some more stock because their stock comparatively to the rest of the company is low and they have the highest sales in the last 3 months for this item. But there might be one more step that we can take here where we can build a measure, or maybe a few measures, where we can just rank them automatically. So let's do sales percentage rank. And we're going to use a RANKX function. And we want to get this for all stores. All right, all stores in general. And let's use our sales percentage. So now this rank should match our rank over here, right? So we have it sorted by the sales percentage right now to all stores. And you can see this row is, or this column is actually sorted ascending. So you can see that's working properly. Let's make another one for stock. And now we can compare the stock rank to the overall sales rank. Right, so we can start to see, all right, sales rank, we got a few. It actually looks like Guanajuato, hopefully I'm saying that right as well, is a top sales contributor as well to Lego bricks. But they also have some pretty low stock. So we could also flip it and see, you know, who has the most stock. Looks like Guadalajara here has a large amount of stock at 52 items on hand, but their sales are much lower than it was Ciudad de Mexico before. So there's one more step we could take to get a more clean comparison, and so we're gonna get the difference between these two rankings, and whoever has the largest difference, you can tell that's probably more of an actionable place to start looking. So let's see, sales, stock, difference. Just call it that for now. And we want the absolute value. So we want the overall number. We don't really care about negatives here. We just want to see that overall difference. So sales rank difference minus the stock rank. Sales rank minus the stock rank. And we'll get the absolute value there. And now I'll actually edit some of these. And now we can start to see the difference here. Or look at that, Ciudad de Mexico, we got Guadalajara. Some stores with the biggest differences here. And if we wanted to, we could even sort this where maybe for the difference, we just want everything 40 or greater. If it's got a difference of 40 or greater. So now we've really isolated some of these stores to say, all right, we've got some top sellers, we've got some low sellers, but then on the flip side, we've got bottom stock on hand rank versus higher end stock on hand rank. So just some more interesting ways to kind of look at and compare the differences between sales and stock on hand, or whatever some of the key metrics might be and how they can impact each other. And there you have it. We have some measures that we can start to rank sales performance, start to rank overall stock on hand compared to the company, and then start to see the difference between those two at a quick, easy glance. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next week.